Welcome back to Align by Design, the podcast where we explore what it really means to live in alignment with who you are. I'm Flavie, and today we're diving into something deeply personal and transformative, the journey of visibility. What it takes to stop hiding, step into the light, and embrace your voice even when it feels impossible. Visibility has not always been easy for me. In fact, for so much of my life, I actively avoided it. I stayed small, I kept quiet, and tried my best to blend in. I didn't dare to step into the light because deep down, I felt like I didn't fit. I would look around and think, everyone else seems to have it all figured out. Why can't I? What's wrong with me? I believed I was not good enough or worthy enough. There was this constant voice in my head saying, who do you think you are to take up space? To share your story? To be seen? That voice was not loud, but it was persistent. And over time, and over time, and over time, I started believing it. This fear of visibility was not just a personal struggle. It followed me into every aspect of my life, especially when I started my business. I thought to myself, how can I build something if I'm too scared to put myself out there? But I couldn't shake the feelings that people would judge me, that they would think, she doesn't know what she's talking about. Who does she think she is to try something like this? So I worried about being seen as an imposter. I worried about failing in public where everyone could watch. And honestly, I even worried about succeeding because with success comes more attention. And attention was the very thing I was afraid of. For me, it was also a deep fear of rejection. What if people don't like me? What if they think I'm ridiculous? What if they laugh? It was not just about my business. It was about me as a person. Showing up felt vulnerable, and vulnerability felt unsafe. It was easier to stay hidden, to play small, to tell myself, I'll be ready later. Even so, I knew deep down that later might never come. The fear became even more complex because I was still working a corporate job at the time. I thought, what if my employer or my colleagues found out about my business? What if they see that I'm doing spiritual work and judge me for it? It felt like there were so many layers of risk. Risk of being seen, risk of being misunderstood, risk of failing, and even risk of succeeding. Looking back, I realized how much I was overthinking everything. I would compare myself to others on social media, seeing their perfectly curated posts and polished videos, and think I could never do that. I don't have the right equipment, the right background, the right anything. I thought I needed to look and sound perfect to be taken seriously. But the truth is, I was using perfectionism as an excuse. I was hiding behind it because I was terrified of being vulnerable. And yet, despite all that fear, I knew something had to change. Because as uncomfortable as visibility felt, staying invisible felt even worse. I wanted to connect with people. I wanted to share my story. I wanted to make an impact. But I could not do any of that if I stayed in the shadows. I still remember the first time my coach told me to put a picture of myself out there. A picture of me. It felt impossible. What would people think? Would I look ridiculous? What if my employer recognized me? I was terrified of being judged. So I cheated. I posted a black and white photo, half of my face hidden behind my knee, thinking it would soften the blow. But it did not. The fear was still there, gnawing at me. Then came the next challenge, posting a video. And let me tell you, that one completely froze me. I remember when my coach said, Flavie, you have to post a video. And blank. Are you still there? No, I'm dead. It was terrible. Honestly, it was terrible. And I remember sitting there, my phone propped up on a stack of books because I didn't have a proper tripod yet. The screen felt like it was staring back at me, daring me to press record. My heart was pounding so hard I could hear it in my ears. Every time I hit the button, I would fumble my words and forget what I wanted to say. Delete, try again, delete, try again, delete, try again, over and over and over and over. It took me 2 hours to post 30-second clips, 2 hours of rehearsing, over 200 tags. I was obsessing with every detail. Was my voice too shaky? Did I look confident enough? Would people even take me seriously? I edited and re-edited, my hands sweating, my throat dry, second guessing every single word. When I finally mustered the courage to post it, I could not even look at my phone. I turned it face down on the table and walked away like I'd just thrown a grenade. And then the notification pinged. I hesitated, but curiosity got the better of me. The first comment I received was, "Did you learn this by heart?" That comment stung. I could feel my cheek burning with embarrassment. My stomach dropped. Did I sound robotic? Was it too obvious how hard I've tried? Do they think I'm a joke? I wanted to delete the video right then and there, pretended it never happened. I thought to myself, maybe I'm not cut out for this. Maybe I will never be one of those people who can just show up effortlessly. But I sat there, replaying that moment in my head. Something shifted. It wasn't instant, more like a small flicker of realization. And I thought, what if it was not perfect? So what if I rehearsed it? I showed up. That's what matters. I realized that if I wanted to grow, to connect, to make an impact, I could not keep hiding. I could not keep letting the fear drive the car while I sat in the passenger seat. Sure, I was scared. Sure, I was awkward. But wasn't that the point? Growth doesn't happen in comfort. That day, I learned something important. Visibility is not about being flawless. It's about being real. And sometimes real means shaky voices, an overreal video, or a nose because it's winter. It means starting small and imperfectly and finding your way as you go. So instead of taking that comment as a sign to stop, I decided to keep going. I realized I didn't need to have it all figured out. I just need to show up one step at a time. And because I am a little crazy in the best way, I decided to jump all in. I didn't just try to show up. I decided to be visible. That's when the idea for my first big challenge came to me. A 21-day live series on Instagram during December, my favorite time of the year. Christmas has always been magical for me. It's a time of connection, creativity, and giving. So I thought, why not create something magical and unique for my audience? And at the time, I had never done a live video, but I decided to go all in anyway. Every night at 9 p.m., I went live on Instagram with the guest. Some of these people, I did not even know them personally. I would simply reach out to them, say, hey, I love what you do. Would you like to go live with me? And they would say yes. I called it my spiritual journalist experiment. Every day we had a theme. Every day I promoted it. And every day the magic unfolded. By the middle of the series, people were messaging me saying, I had replaced Netflix for them. They did not even want the series to end. And honestly, neither did I. It was not perfect. It was not polished, but it was real. And that's what mattered. That experience showed me something profound. Visibility is not about being perfect. It's about being present. It's about connection, not performance. And it's about showing up. Not because you're fearless, but because you are brave enough to face the fear and because you care. After the success of that series, I felt emboldened. One of my coaches challenged me to take it further. So I committed to a 365 live challenge. I went live every single day for nearly a year. Yes, I know. It sounds crazy, but it was transformative. I even went live from the hospital while I was being induced at 42 weeks pregnant. And the day after I delivered my baby, I did my live just to let my audience know that I'm still there. Not in a good shape, but I'm still there. And I think that this video got, I don't remember how many views, but so much. Because those live were not polished or scripted. They were raw and real. And that's what made them special. For 325 days, I showed up consistently. But then, something shifted. I had a newborn at home. I was now a mom of 3. And I was completely drained. My body was sending me clear signal. Stop. You cannot keep showing up like this. I was a complete mess. I was sick. I was exhausted. And I realized something important. Visibility is not about persistence for the sake of persistence. It's about alignment. It's about remembering why you are showing up in the first place. At that moment, I wasn't showing up from a place of alignment. I was just pushing myself beyond my limits. And because I made that promise that I will do my 365-day live, even my coach stopped after 100 live. I was the one who did the most live. So I made the difficult decision to stop the challenge because it did not make any longer sense to me. And honestly, I think that since that day, I didn't do any live alone. But also I switched language. But here's what I learned through it all. Visibility is not about perfection. It's about presence. It's about showing up, even when it's messy, even when it's scary. It's about connecting with the people who need your voice, your story, your energy. The world doesn't need a perfect version of you. It needs the real you. When you step into visibility, you inspire others to do the same. You create a ripple effect. When you shine, you give others permission to shine too. Now, I want to leave you with some questions to reflect on. The ones that can maybe open doors within us. So, I want you to ask yourself these questions. Where in your life or business are you still hiding? What fears are holding you back from stepping into the light? And who are you truly meant to serve when you show up as your most authentic self? Sit with these questions. Don't rush past them. Let them simmer. And when you're ready, take one small, courageous step towards being visible. Not perfect, just visible. And let me know. I would love you to tag me, let me know, and I'm going to republish you and celebrate you. Thank you for being here with me today, for listening, for showing up for yourself. And if this episode resonated with you, I would love you to share it with someone who needs this message. You can also let me a comment or a thumb to let me know that you like it. And together, let's inspire more women to step into the light. And of course, until next time, stay true, stay aligned, and keep evolving.